Good morning. We are here at AI Productivity Powerhouse. I'm Jim Peak, and we're going to be talking about fantastic tools so you can become super productive. Welcome, everybody. So glad to have you on the call. Let's dive right in and start talking about AI tools. Let's make the most out of this. We've woken it up with some music. So I am so delighted to be sharing some of the awesome tools. Who here has used AI like ChatGPT in the past? Raise your hand. Keep your hand raised if you use it every day. Just curious. Okay, that's fantastic. Kind of if and if a little bit. Fantastic. So I'm going to be encouraging you to use it as much as possible. Before we dive in, I want to share a bit of my story. I grew up in a very loving family. I had three older brothers and three older sisters. I was the last of seven. I felt embraced in this cocoon of love. I grew up on English Drive, built that bike myself, riding, playing capture the flag, climbing trees, having a great time growing up in this family. I loved and really looked with great admiration to my brothers and sisters. And we had a lot of fun together. This is my oldest brother. After we got involved in life growing up in the 70s, my brother started going off to college. For me, that little kid, it was a big deal because this cocoon of love that I had started changing. And my brothers and sisters started going off one by one. And can you imagine how I started to feel? I started to feel like I was going to be left alone or left behind. I started to question the certainty of love, that it would stay. Why am I telling you this? Because I feel like a lot of us might be feeling that way about this amazing AI revolution. A lot is changing. We see it all the time and we hear about it. And we might be having this feeling like, I don't want to be left behind, miss out on the competitive edge, or be forgotten in all this big wave of change. And there has been a lot of change with AI, and there's going to be more change in the next few years. What's been one of the biggest changes you've seen in your lifetime? The internet, right? The invention of the internet around 1994, 5, 6 started coming out. And before then, if you're old enough like me to remember, I used to have to go to the library, talk to the reference librarian and say, can you help me find this information? It seemed like overnight, our entire world changed. That's a pebble compared to what is happening with AI. Sometimes people feel like AI, there's a lot of hype going on, that it's not really that big of a deal. I can tell you, even in the last 72 hours, what I have experienced with AI tells me it is true. It is changing everything. Millions of jobs will go away because of automation, robots, other technology changes. But that doesn't mean we need to suffer. We can be on top of this wave. My mission is to help my friends and family understand how to utilize these tools. I will be sharing tools and techniques to get out of this chaos, this feeling of being left behind. I want to tell you the truth. Even though everybody wants these tools, everybody wants the strategies, everybody wants to learn the hacks and the tips and technical shortcuts to getting AI results, the truth is it's at least 80% psychology. We need to be working on what are we believing about ourselves and about how we are able to adapt and adjust. So, for example, do you ever feel tech unsavvy? Raise your hand if sometimes you question, like, yeah, I'm not really the best. I'm not as good as I can be. I'm not good enough at technology and AI. I want you to try something for size. Let's embrace a truth and start resetting our identity. This is where I ask you to do something unusual. Does that sound okay? Are you willing? Great. So we're going to embrace this phrase, I am a tech savvy nerd, the likes of which you've never heard. Repeat after me.
I am a tech savvy nerd,
Awesome.
the likes of which you
Fantastic. I am a tech savvy nerd.
I am a tech
I'm
savvy.
Awesome. The likes of which you've never heard. See, that didn't hurt. Anybody feel better? We can play with these things. I forgot to hit send on the chat, so let's do it one more time.
I'm a tech
nerd,
savvy nerd,
things of
of
which you've
which you've
never
never
heard.
heard.
Woo! Awesome. I'm amazed that you're playing all out. We're starting to shift this belief set that's our identity. If we have thoughts come to us, and we all do because we're human, and we've gathered references, maybe sometime in high school, trigonometry was too much. It went over my head. So I gained a belief that I'm not good at this stuff. So now I need to shift that. And one of the ways that I shifted is by going, I am really an AI tech savvy nerd, the likes of which starts changing things for me. So I will be sharing with you plenty of strategies, tips, techniques during the next hour or so. And we will come back to this truth that what we really want to make sure we're doing is resetting that thermostat, that mental thermostat as we go. Because in the end, this feeling organized or disorganized, info overload, or on top of the wave, it's a feeling, it's an emotion. And we can create that emotion by thinking about times in the past when we felt really organized or in flow or on top of things. So we now have that new identity in mind to get over the chaos and to start thinking like, what's the clarity? What is really the sense of firm ground where I stand as I go about learning about AI tools? We want to overcome this addiction to distraction. I'm Jim. I'm addicted to distraction. Our intention is to help get over that and explore tools and techniques. I'm going to show you 4 of my favorite tools and share automations. It's a way of thinking what's something I've done step by step, and now it's just an ease. It's just like I don't even have to think about it. The first automation I want to share is how I use Todoist to capture my to-do items. Do you have lots of to-do lists? Put 1 in the chat. If you're a list maker, Doug is awesome. I had that problem. I got into a program called Todoist. It allowed me to capture things on the go. This isn't one of the tools, by the way. I would have them go into Todoist, but it wasn't my home base where I worked. So I found a way using Zapier to put Todoist automatically into where I really like to work called workflow. So Zapier is this way of connecting one program to another. Here's an example of a workflow I would create in a program like Zapier. And Zapier is a little bit technical. If I go back to its homepage, there's a lot you can do. My intuition was there's a lot going on here. I'm kind of an engineering mind, but this is for the super engineering minds, a little technical. I was able to use it to create some zaps where if I inputted something into my to-do program, it would automatically be put into my home base, my workflowy program. The one other thing about Zapier is it's not the cheapest. I spend about 29 bucks a month. I could do a lot more with this plan, but the price and the fact that it was technical caused me to start looking for something different. And I found 2 other programs. One is called Pabbly, which I'll put in the chat. This one is called Integrately. And I found this more intuitive. I want to give you all 3 options if you like the idea of figuring out where I'm spending time doing something a computer could do, something repetitive AI could do for me. They let you speak in plain English. And they have some examples here. I could write right here when spreadsheet row is created in Google Sheets, and if a first name exists, send mail using Gmail. It connects those things together. I could write when contact is created in HubSpot, create contact in Company Hub, and send email in Gmail. So I have possibilities there. Do I work with Google Forms or do I do something in Airtable? I can find one program, match it with another, and have them talk to each other. And if that's still like, gosh, I'm not sure what to do with this, it's okay. You could also come down here and start seeing some of their examples. So you just look at popular things people are doing, program names that mean something to you. If you see something that works for you, let's say we all use Gmail. Go back up to this part of the program and say Gmail and click that. Now it gives me things specific to Gmail. Think of these as recipes. I want to send a Google chat message for each new email I receive in Gmail. You could filter by saying, okay, I want the Gmails to be have a certain word in the subject line. There's all sorts of particulars that you can put in. So I love this program. I highly recommend it. I did use Pabbly a little as well. There's one more bonus, and it's N8N. N8N is the one that will end up being the least expensive if you go through some more technical hoops where you basically, they call it setting it up on your own server. Hi, Ben. Let's check it out. Ben has a great question in the chat. Ben asked, does Pabbly or N8N work with Workflowy? The way I would find that out is I would go to N8N and search for it. Go to Pabbly, Pabbly, and just see if it has the tool that you're working for. Sometimes they don't, and then you go searching for another. I went from Zapier to Integrately was because even though Zapier said it would connect things like Gmail with my Google Calendar, it had authentication problems that I got frustrated with. So I went searching and Integrately worked like a charm. Pabbly worked easily. N8N can be technical but powerful. If you set it up on your server, it's cheaper. When people sign up for my course and register, they answer questions, and this is both for me and for them, so that the process of answering questions helps you get into student mode, and people start having realizations and ahas right away. When they fill out this form, Google Forms doesn't have a way for me to be notified. So I use Integrately over here in their automations to say when someone fills out that form, it will automatically go to my email. And I said, well, why not at the same time, let's email them and say, thank you, we got your form. So it gives validation and reassurance that it's done. Whenever I upload a video to YouTube, it automatically notes everything in a spreadsheet. I have this record of what I've done, and it helps me and my team remember what has been produced, build upon it, and refer back to it. That's one automation we can do with these tools that connect to different things. So the first one I'd like you to think about is what things do I do manually that I'd like to do automatically? The next one is I love to take notes during meetings. I love to capture different things. Anybody else here a total note taker? I use AI to capture that now. And there's two super powerful heavy hitters that I lean on, although you can use lots of different tools to actually capture, like if you're having a meeting. And again, there are tons ever, so some will probably come to you right now. And if they do, feel free to put them in the chat. The two I use most are Otter AI and the voice memo feature on my iPhone. Often, if I'm having a meeting or a job interview, I can record it on my voice memos and have a helpful summary in the end. Here's one tip I do this is in ChatGPT, and I highly recommend that you go ahead and get the $20 a month version. In this ChatGPT, I can customize it. And so I go here to my profile in the lower left corner, and there's an option to customize it. And I put in custom instructions. And in this case, I say, whenever I say organize sum, I have this phrase put in. And I'm going to put this in the chat for you as well. You can set up this thing to tell ChatGPT, when I write organize sum, I mean this. So translate it this way. Once I set that custom instruction, I can come in this case, I said just the one word, organize sum, and then I pasted in this enormous transcript. there would be way too much information. It's not formatted nice. It's not readable. It's all from a job interview. Because I put that one word in with those custom instructions, it gives me this executive summary and I see my key points. It does a fantastic job of analyzing everything said. Similarly, I did organize some with a discussion with my technical developer who's helping me with a big project. And it's a long conversation that happened during Zoom. And now I have a visual executive summary that I can look through and see exactly what we were talking about. In a nanosecond, I can glance at this and have this reference. Does it sound like something you could use? Raise your hand if you watch a YouTube video and get some information out of it. Awesome. In YouTube, I'll go here, and because I have this thing set in, let's say N8N or Pabbly. How about Pabbly? Pabbly Connect versus Zapier. Let's try that. I click on a video here.
This video, we will
Watch
compare
it for a
Pabbly
second. This
Connect and
is a super
Zapier.
short one, but imagine there's a 20-minute video. I've gotten a little extension from my Google Chrome called YouTube Transcript AI Summary. If you use Google Chrome, go to the Chrome extension store, type in YouTube Summary, and you're going to see a whole bunch. And quite honestly, I cycle through them because the last one worked for a while and then it didn't. Rather than go through a big long support thing, I just said, let me see what else is out there. I found this YouTube Transcript AI Summary. And because I have that installed, now magically down here on the right is an AI summary. I do these arrows, copy this, and paste it into a chat. This really helps when it's a long video. And in seconds, I have something visual that I can refer back to. I don't know about you, but I love learning in different ways. I learn so much via video, but I don't have time to watch the video again. Once I get it in once, I can now have this reference and I can take these results and put them into something else, like a notepad, or in my case, I use Notion. There's a website where you can chat with YouTube videos, youryt.com. Thanks, Shmuel. Great reference, youryt.com. So you can take all of this information and have it put into something like Notion that you really use. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. That's automation number 2. We're getting lots of info from our things. And any questions so far, you can either put it in the chat or feel free to unmute yourself. Automation number 3, are you ready? It's something you've done a lot, but it's so important that you can generate a first draft of anything in seconds. I remember when I went to UC Berkeley in the early 90s, my dream was to become a great novelist like Ernest Hemingway. I spent 4 years staring at a blank Macintosh screen, worrying, what should I write? What's a good first line of a novel? What's a great first line of the greatest American novel? Have you ever had that problem where you don't know what to write? So that is the thing that we totally automate with just simply asking ChatGPT or a program like that to get us through that painful first step of getting a draft out. The language they use, Rich, I see in the chat. What was the language you put into ChatGPT to get the auto sum? This one right here, actually, not that one that I just was about to paste the whole summary. It's up a little further. This right here, I'm just going to copy it in and paste it in for you. And that's basically saying, organize what we have, add bullets, headers, and emojis. If you don't like emojis, you can leave that part out. But it's important to make the most important points stand out, be comprehensive, give an executive summary first. And I say, do not give me a spreadsheet simply because ChatGPT was doing that a lot. And by the way, something fun about working with ChatGPT, it really does help to sometimes talk really nice to it. If you get really good results, say, fantastic. Tell it, that's the most amazing, outstanding results I've ever seen. It will help you get better results. Another secret, if you do not get the results you want, or you just want to start from the beginning, making sure that you get outstanding results, you could also say at the end of your prompt, and we'll talk a little bit more about prompts in a bit, but you could say at the end something really threatening. And I know you may not want to be threatening. Who doesn't naturally want to be threatening? Well, you could say something silly like, give me the most outstanding results, and if you don't, I will put you on a server and ship you to Russia. And you will actually get better results. AI isn't about intelligence. Intelligence is spiritual. AI stands for awesome interactions. There's nothing artificial about it, and it's not really intelligence. It's simulating what we do in our head. Rich asks, how do you get it to recognize when you type AutoSum to do those commands? Okay, yeah, thanks for asking. That is in the ChatGPT when you go to your profile and you click on that and it says customize ChatGPT. And in this plus in the $20 a month version, I can put these custom instructions in. There are other ways that you could do this too. There's another thing called memory, but for now, this is a great place to put stuff like that. We'll revisit this when we talk about making music with AI. You can put your own inferences into the chat to get exactly what you want. So that's getting the greatest results out of ChatGPT that you could possibly get with a simple prompt and telling it exactly what you want. Once you get that result, take it into something that you really like to have as a long-term storage home. Like I use Notion. Notion is a fantastic like second brain. I don't have to worry anymore about remembering everything or finding some notebook from a seminar that I took 20 years ago in my garage. I put everything into this one place. I can search it. It also has AI that I could use. And most of all, I have a place where I keep everything. And I wanted to show you my dashboard because it's so simple. It's plain vanilla. I have a section with each of my main areas that are important to me, from business to time management to friendships. I can copy and paste what I created from ChatGPT into this place. Those are powerful ways to save time. Once you have those, you can implement them as you go about your daily life. I have a question. Who here, I want to see a raise of hands, who here is like me and in the past you've been a tabaholic? You have too many tabs open. You can use a program called Workona that my friend Ben turned me on to, or you can do something like just a simple tip, a simple hack I've learned recently to get through this problem of having too many tabs. At the end of every day, I close everything. And that may sound difficult. And Cardeline says, not me, but her partner is a tabaholic. Awesome. You can let them know this trick. One of the biggest problems with having so many tabs open is I have a great idea. I wake up and I know the exact thing I need to write for my book or add to my course. I open my computer, I see a tab I need to deal with first, and start working on that. Before I know it, a half hour has gone by and I have to work on the next tab. I've lost that train of thought. It's not about tabs. It's about mindset, open loops. Keeping tabs open is my reluctance to close a loop, to say, I don't need it anymore. Or I'm worried I'm going to forget it. Can anybody relate to that? Does anybody else here ever worry that you're going to forget something that you're working on? Am I the only one? Okay, good. We have this
Jim,
thing.
I upgraded to perfect memory last week, so you need to upgrade.
Yes, okay, good. So I go through each tab and I say, is this a to-do item? If it is, I move it into my task management system. That clears out a bunch, but there's still some things that maybe I'm tired, maybe it's at the end of the night, I don't know what to do. And so then I just come here in my Google Chrome, I go to bookmark all tabs. I create one thing with today's date, 2025. I just say it's Labor Day, the 1st of September, and I just save it. And I usually put that into the other folder, other bookmarks folder. And now I know, now I can relax and close everything up. And that's what I'll do right after this webinar. Let's go back. We have these ways of working with ChatGPT and other programs. How do you get the best results when you prompt? I want to share a first take on what I call my ROCKSTAR framework for perfect prompting. I'm going to share a tab that shows it and put it in the chat. So this is the ROCKSTAR framework. We only have time today to talk about the beginning and the end. You can praise the AI or be threatening to it. Even more important is to do the first R in this ROCKSTAR. Doing this will make a huge difference in the results you get from ChatGPT. Simply tell it who to be, what hat to wear. Say, be a marketing expert, or be the world's best expert in bookmarks. Narrow down the universe of information that ChatGPT has into this one specific topic, and the quality of your results will skyrocket. After you write the prompt, say, reflect on this before responding and ask me any clarifying questions to produce the most outstanding results possible. It will ask you a few things and you'll get better results. When you get results you love, ask it, what would be a great prompt for these results? So for example, say you started with one simple prompt and you had to go back and forth. Maybe you spent 2 or 3 hours on one conversation. At the end, you can say, just give me a prompt that will get me here from the beginning. And it will give you the prompt. Save that in Notion AI or something like that. And you can move forward having that prompt for the future. So that's the ROCKSTAR framework, and it will help you get some great results. I'm going to put that in the chat. You can download this for reference. I have a whole technique about using this framework to come up with a really clear sense of your purpose. If you ever want that, I will be happy to teach you. If you're searching for your mission and purpose, I have an amazing technique that takes seconds to get a clear sense of why you're here. It's pretty amazing. These strategies, these tools are important, but 5 times more important is what you're really thinking. Like I demonstrated with the tabs, it could be all these tabs and I can think it's just a technical thing, so I need to find the software that will help me manage my tabs. Or I can realize maybe it's about open loops, my fear of forgetting, and I can deal with that instead and get a sense of calm or grounded peace and get through that fear of overwhelm. So I want you to go ahead and allow yourself to play a little bit. If you're willing to play, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're willing to play. Great. Take a few moments. You're welcome to close your eyes, but you don't have to. First, take a loving, conscious breath in. Imagine all the love of the universe, whatever you see as your higher power, all the love of the universe to come into your heart. And let's breathe in and out and let it go. Let it go. One more time. Let all that love come into your heart. Feel yourself getting centered and grounded. Think about a time when you felt totally certain, in flow, on top of the world. You were going about your day, and this is what life is all about. You felt secure. And let that come in as you get that memory where you felt certain. Imagine the little volume knob and turn up that volume knob, and it makes it brighter. And it brings that, if you see a picture, it brings it closer and you feel certain right now. Step into that moment. You're seeing through your eyes, hearing what you were hearing, maybe your voice saying, I've got this. Absorb it all with one more breath. Let it out. And come back to me. And who feels better than seconds ago? Awesome. That's getting into that place of flow even before we get on top of our email inbox. We know we're in a place of trust. We know all will be well. We've got this. And the power of the universe helping us. The truth is, we're talking about resilience, adaptability, concepts. We want to learn and help our friends and family learn. If you have kids or grandkids, now is the time to help them embrace adaptability, resilience, persistence. I love Finding Nemo, Dory.
Yes.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. So
Love it.
much of it is just trying things to go forward. Anne-Marie can relate. One of my favorite movies. Imagine you're at the base of a mountain and you see this big mountain peak in front of you. And what you see from your perspective, there's like a cliff there. There's no way you're going to get up that cliff. It's like a sheer rock cliff. That's impossible. But you take one step, then another, and another. And as you get closer to that cliff, all of a sudden you see that there's actually this path that goes off and up to the left and the jags to the right. Step by step, the mountain flattens out. What seemed impossible becomes possible. That's your life with this new wave of technology, AI. I love your comments about Dory and low stress fish. One other framework I want to share in our remaining time, and then an opportunity to join me in a course, if that's all right. This framework has been powerful for me in using our mindset to get fully into this place of feeling organized. GRAIL stands for goals, focusing on clear ideas of what we want, not this sense of what do I have to do? What do I have to do? Close all these tabs. Oh, I have 100 emails. Answer those emails. No, today, what's my goal? With a clear sense of what do I really want to feel? What do I want to attain? And then focusing on that first, then we go into why we want that goal. I like this framework, very meta. To get to your purpose, I use this sub framework called REGAL. And that stands for reasons, emotions. How am I going to feel when I get that goal? What else am I going to gain? Who else is this going to benefit? And the L stands for who am I going to become when I attain this goal? Who's the higher self that I'm going to become? If you ask those 5 questions, you'll get clear on which of your goals are most important. For example, when I was a teenager, I wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I thought, I want to learn how to play. And when I analyzed it, I realized I just wanted to get a girlfriend. And I thought learning guitar would get me the girl.
Oh, yes.
Because it would. Being a music maker gave me that sense of purpose. And after you have clarity about your outcome and your regal purpose, then you can go into the actions. And you can go for automating them by finding ways to leverage the actions that have the most impact. I will share the regal in a moment. That's a good one. I'll put that in the chat. Thank you for asking. So we have this holy grail. Ask yourself, what would I do with AI? We've talked about automating. Busy work do I have? We've also talked about creating. You might want to write a book or maybe just produce a blog, or maybe just organize all your photos if you're like me and you love to take photos. What is it that you would like to really do with AI? And I want to put on a song and give you just 60 seconds to do that. So think now about what you would really love to do with AI. So let me put on a song and allow you to put that in the chat. What do you want to do with AI? When you master it, I want to hear from everybody in the chat.
I waited for help, felt the patience crack. They said they cared, but
What's one thing that you would love to do? Donna says a blog. Who wants to get on top of their email inbox? Awesome. Create presentations, Arlene. How about bookkeeping? Organizing photos is fantastic. I'll share a little. What else would you like to do? Would you like to have it that when a lead contacts you, they automatically get email? Oh, it's so neat to see how many people would love photo help. That's great. Fantastic. Awesome. Okay, great. We have lots in the chat. I appreciate you thinking about it, because isn't that key? Coming up with, doing the hard work of thinking and going, what do I really want to do with AI? Rich says organizing and indexing notes, photos, emails. Fantastic. Caroline says get help with dog training. Yes, I met your dog. I love your dog. And food prep, recipe creating. Oh, that's great. A one-stop shop for my coaching business. Fantastic, Doug. Emailing the client. Yes, emailing the client to set an appointment and recording the session. Follow up with the client. That's fantastic. One time I was coaching someone and helping them on the phone. They were in a bad spot. I was remaining present and listening for ideas, but I was stuck. I asked a question of my ChatGPT of, real quick, blah, 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 blah. And I got these ideas and it inspired a very empowering quality question for me to come back with. And it opened the floodgates and there was a total transformation. So you can work with these tools. They can be your assistant. Keith the dog, that's fantastic. Rich, I'm posting the Regal framework. You can copy this if you want. What are the reasons I must do this? What emotions am I going to feel when I get to this goal? What will this give me? What positively impact and who will I become, the higher self that I love? Keep those coming if you have ideas about what you can do with AI. But the goal is closing loops and taking on that new identity. What is it again? Feel free to unmute yourself. Who remembers what it is? I can come up to the chat and see if I have it. Here it is. I'm going to make it easy for you. I am a tech savvy nerd. I want to hear it. I am a
tech savvy nerd.
The likes you've never heard.
The likes of which you've never heard.
Now you're well on your way. Fantastic work. A couple of the bonus things I want to share with you. Many of you talked about photos. AI has greatly helped me simply by using Google Photos. In the past, I used other programs. I've had a business for 28 years helping photography enthusiasts. So I've tried everything out. And so many of them required so much work with tags and categorizing. I kept searching and finally I just went to a system where I have Google Photos on my phone. Every time I take a photo, it automatically gets backed up into the cloud at Google Photos. And Google, has a good reputation for search functionality. So I chose it. I have different albums set up, but I don't have to. If I don't set up any albums, I can search for things. The search on desktop is pretty good. In the last 6 months, they added a new thing where it was AI searching. And that really works best on my phone. So if you're open to trying something new, I recommend Google Photos. It's worked fantastic for me. I have the app on my phone. I tap the AI and ask for a photo. If I couldn't remember, I could say, look for a photo with me and my brother Tom on St. Patrick's Day where my mom colored all the food green. And it would give me this photo. We have great searchability and I never have to worry about organizing my photos again. Did you know you can make amazing photos with AI? Green eggs and spam. I love that, Robert.
Wow, that's cool.
I could type a prompt and come up with different results and decide which one I like best. So this I really like for like things that I don't have a photo for. I'm a big Tony Robbins fan. I first met Tony in the late 80s. Say 27-year-old Tony Robbins reaching down from stage and shaking my hand. I want it to be photorealistic from my point of view. Think about special memories you would love to have. Maybe it'll give you a visual spark. Would you like to create an image of something that you would really like to have happen and put that on your vision board? You can make your own vision of what you want. Even though I said photorealistic, that isn't, but that's okay. It's not my point of view. So I would fix this. Let's try something else. For fun, paper art, 27-year-old from my POV, showing my hand reaching up. In addition to photorealistic, you could do felt art, stone art, or paper art. Look at that huge hand. It's an art. Sometimes it's not exactly what you want, but you might get the semblance you want. I've created different images, tried different things. My team works with these and comes up with images for different, if I do advertising, promotional work, anything I work on. They also create videos. So you can see some images in motion. Sometimes they work really well. Tony's been working on his biceps. Another AI for video is Runway. In addition to creating still photos and little videos with Midjourney, you can go to Runway. There's a new one called VEO3. I just said, why don't we try one with a warrior walking in foggy woods with a wizard coming across an old Macintosh computer. I'm not confident that it's going to be able to do the Macintosh computer. I have not tested this yet, so let's see what it did. Oh my God. That's exactly what I wanted. Isn't that amazing? I said, let's represent a video representing AI. And that's exciting for me. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you could create video that's like pretty interesting and cool? All you have to do is experiment and try different things. Sometimes it doesn't work right out of the gate. In Midjourney, you get 4 results. Often one is pretty good. At a recent event, I had a screen capture and I played with animating it or making it look like Pixar. There's endless possibilities. I think this is the one my team liked the most, kind of wild superhero stuff. Or here's one with toys. You can get as creative as you want and make fun things. The example I had before of creating first drafts, in this endeavor with helping people with AI, I used to talk about it as a surfing metaphor. I would help people learn how to surf this wave instead of being submerged by the tsunami of change with AI. But that didn't fit me. I'm not a surfer. I tried to surf once or twice when I was a kid, didn't really get good enough at it. So I said, let's come up with other ideas. And it suggested something with wizardry, kind of mythic stuff. I said, that sounds great. I asked it to flesh out what it would be like to have this metaphor. As I was thinking about this idea of AI is kind of like the wizard that is helping you, the warrior hero, on your journey to the gold, get to the end result of whatever quest you're on. I had this flash of insight, this moment of, oh, this is my next book. I'm going to write a parable style book about a guy who is a sci-fi fantasy fan. He gets propelled into a world of fantasy, what he's always dreamed about. On this journey in this world of dragons and wizards, he learns about adaptability, resilience, and persistence. He learns everything he needs to not only survive, but thrive. I said to ChatGPT, give me an outline for this idea. And it storyboarded this out. And all I did was copy and paste this in to ChatGPT over here and say, okay, write my first chapter. I'm not saying that I'm going to copy and paste this, but it gets me through that first draft. So now it has this story, the cursor blinking like a mocking heartbeat, 1 tab, 2 tabs, 30 tabs. The hero, our nerdy, well-meaning creator, sat slouched in the glow of a screen, fingers hovering but never landing with certainty. So now I have something to work with. I've been catapulted through the first draft stage, and I'm excited to create that. It gets better. With AI, you can take an idea and say, write me a song. So I did that. I wrote a poem. I looked through it, I read it, and said, I like this. Whenever I do this, I read everything out loud. And if anything stands out as something I wouldn't say, or it's not exactly the idea that I want to convey, I change that. Sometimes I come back to ChatGPT and say, I don't want to say this. Like, I don't want to say Kingdom of Glass. Give me a replacement. I come up with something that resonates. Then I take it to another program like Suno. Suno is a music AI program. I paste in those lyrics And I use Suno to create a genre style, or I tell Suno suggestions like punk or worship music. I give it a title and I hit create, and it comes up with songs.
Couched in the blue glow of night, fingers hover, never landing right.
Is that cool? Do you see the power of that? I like that, but I was thinking of something more medieval, like with harps and lutes.
The hero sat in the blue glow of night.
Sometimes I need to go back and forth before I get something that works. Isn't that amazing? Yes, it's great to learn the guitar. Piano is my instrument of choice. As much as I love to play the piano, practice it, work with my piano teacher to grow in that skill, I would never become a concert pianist. But now I can come in here and I can create songs of incantations, songs that are mindset concepts that I really want to condition in. I do that a lot. Or I can create songs I enjoy like this. It's just at a click of a button. You can make a song when it resonates, makes you laugh, makes you smile. You know you got a great song. You can make them for friends and family. Say a loved one has a birthday or your significant other, it's your anniversary. Make a song for them. Give them a gift that is unique. For example, the song I created recently for a friend struggling with a mindset concept really resonated with people. Donna, I hope you don't mind, but I just screen captured what people said about this song I made for a dear friend. They're listening to it daily, and it's really helping people. I do the same. I listen to these songs every day when I'm working out, going for a walk, or working at my computer. Pretty awesome. We have a lot we could do with these powerful tools. Some are a little technical, like Zapier, but a lot are just fun. I have this other handout I want to give you called my top AI tools. And I have this as a little PDF, but I just wanted to show you as well too, that like this other powerful tool I love, Notion, it's my second brain where I keep, refine, and edit everything I love. I've created this one. You could do the same with a tool like this. At any moment, I can export it as a PDF and then share it with you. So right now, I'm just going to go here and put this in the chat as well for you as another bonus of attending. I'm so impressed. You took time out of your busy schedule. Here it is, AI Top Tools. That's something you can use to sort of navigate some of the tools that are available out there. In the last 15 minutes, I'd love to share my upcoming course. Is that all right? I'm going to share my opportunity to join and go deep on what this is about. Take a deep breath in and imagine you woke up tomorrow able to do all the productivity you wanted. Overwhelm was a thing of the past. You were surfing it like a master, able to automate, maximize productivity, and reclaim your time. You could spend it with your family, go out in nature, or do that sporting activity you enjoyed. And you are learning about AI in a group of people like you. Were you feeling disorganized or unsure, uncertain? Maybe am I missing out on potential revenue? You were just feeling like those days were gone. Now you were on top of things and able to really feel like I am the hero of my story. I'm celebrating new successes daily. I'm more productive than I dreamed possible. I'm experiencing magic every day, and I'm sharing that magic with my friends and family. People are listening to my songs and going, wow, you created that. I'm sharing photos with clients that show the life that they told me they were dreaming about and allowing them to have the tools so that they could learn how to get even better. So that's the vision, my AI Zero to Hero course, where you become the hero of your story, you amplify your creativity, in a worldwide community. There are 6 pillars that we'll go through in depth, going all the way through the most powerful content creation tools to the most amazing automation tools. And we'll go through it together. I will hold your hand as we walk through the path and get to this place where you understand how to use these tools for maximum benefit. And what's more, as a bonus, one of the pillars is about using AI for having more beautiful emotions in your life. It can be a super powerful tool for you to use in your own personal development and in the development of others. What this course is, 3 weeks, 2 times a week. We will meet together, but they will be recorded. So if you miss any, you won't miss any. We're going to have this exclusive community where you're going to be able to turn to make friends with people like you, interested in being AI empowered in whatever they're doing, whether it's coaching, consulting, business, even photography, all forms of creativity. I'm going to give you tools and templates that help you become this master that you really deserve to be. And this is the time. This is your time to do it. And I believe fully in this old phrase that says, if I hear, I forget. If I see, I remember. If I do, I understand. So that's the opportunity. In a guided way, you will get to do the different AI tools and processes, ask questions, and learn together and get on top of it and have more awesome interactions, get feedback from me with hotspots and interaction every week. We're going to get the bonus materials of a ROCKSTAR prompting library, top AI tools for slideshows, captions, plug and play different writing tools, and specific handouts to save time. Special opportunity for the next couple of days. Think it over with your significant other. Become more inspired than you ever dreamed possible, even more productive. Maybe you will write that book that you've always dreamed of. Maybe you will create that blog that has more followers than you thought you could ever attract. More followers than you're way beyond that initial stage where you're checking numbers and wishing that someone would comment on your work or wishing someone would smash that like button. It's flowing and you're getting momentum. Create a website in seconds, enter a prompt, create a presentation, show friends and family. The AI 0 to Hero, 3 weeks intensive. You're in charge of AI. I will personally give you some onboarding help. As another bonus, I'll give you my AI Productivity Powerhouse Notebook LM. So you'll be able to interact with an AI and talk to it about the course concepts that we talk about. I'll show you my songwriting bonus, as well as all the bonuses I listed in the previous slide. And you'll get 30 days in our Hero network to give it a try on ongoing support after the course is done. In addition to all the frameworks that will help you. Courses like this I've seen for over $4,000, but in this I'm going to do it for $997, and I have a better than money back guarantee because I know you'll love it. My goal is to create people who feel empowered. If you don't feel that way at the end, I'll give you a full refund and you keep all of the bonuses. So I invite you, now's your time. I'll put in the chat the link to the page that's about this and has all the details. And here it is. This is the time where you get to say, I'm going to be this warrior. Call upon the inner magician. Get all those parts and move forward like the sovereign that I am and actually create in a way that is so productive, but also completely peaceful, centered, and certain. I invite you to join me. If you have questions about this or anything we've talked about, now's the time.